How do you celebrate that big milestone there?
When you've won as little as we have this year, you go home and you sleep for a change is what you do. But, you know, it's nice to get it, nice to get a road win. Obviously great to have the entire family there. And means you've been doing it a long time. You've had pretty good players and you've surrounded yourself with good coaches. So I've been pretty blessed during my career.
What does that win mean on the road when you're going to another road game, and how does that confidence carry over with these players?
Well, you know, I hope it carries over. You know, we went in and maybe played our best 40 minutes of the year. Certainly, you know, one of our better games this season. So the guys continue to improve, and that's really, as a coach, what you're after, regardless of how you start. Our job is to try to make them better as the season goes on, and I think this group has continued to improve. And sometimes that can be difficult to do when you're faced with some adverse times.
It's almost a relief to finally see the W's start to file in here, you know, after all the work that's been put in, and some of these close games are starting to break your way.
Well, it's nice to have some go our way. Obviously, we've had a bunch that the ball has not necessarily bounced our way, or we were one play away, whether it be making a shot on the offensive end or not getting a stop when we needed it, or a rebound on the defensive end, from winning, you know, 5 or 6 more games. It totally turns your season, and all of a sudden you're an NCAA bubble team if you find a way to win those. Now, having said that, the last few years we won most of those, and I think over the course of time that has a way of evening itself out. But I'm proud of the way these guys have continued to stay focused, continue to work. Have never once pointed a finger at one another, and you know, I think really appreciate each other. So they've been fun to coach in that regard, and I think that's the reason we're playing a little bit better now, is because they've stayed with it.
What about Seton Hall? One of their best players, Gibbs, is gone. So how does this team match up with yours?
You know, they played 35, 36 really good minutes at St. John's, where it was an even game, and Seton Hall actually led a good portion of it up until that point. So, you know, Isaiah Whitehead and Angel Delgado are arguably 2 of the more talented freshmen in our league, and they've played 30 games, so they're not freshmen anymore. They're very comfortable with what Coach Willard is asking them to do, and you know, Whitehead can get 30 on you on any given night. So, you know, we're going to have to be locked in and ready to defend them. They're a desperate team as well. You know, they are now where we were, or they're in the middle of a losing streak that they want to see come to an end as quick as they possibly can.
When you see, you know, you get a couple of wins on the road like Xavier, like Rick, you almost go into this game now, okay, we've done this, expect to get this win as opposed to hoping.
Might as well just stay at home. I mean, that's why you prepare, and that's why you go through everything we ask our guys to go through in preparation for a game, is that you have to expect to win. And I think our guys do that. Now, obviously, our margin for error is pretty small and pretty slim, but, you know, these guys, as I said, I think they fully believe that they can go to Seton Hall and win. I think they believe that we can come home Tuesday and beat Villanova. But we're going to have to do things a certain way, and that's what these practices leading up to these games are for.
With the kind of minutes you're getting out of Jeff and Will in the middle, how much does that maybe take some of the pressure off the guys on the perimeter who were obviously asked to do a lot early in the season?
Well, we're getting easy baskets from those two. Some deep post positions, some out of our ball screen action where they're really diving to the rim and catching and finishing, and that sort of thing is taking some pressure off the rest of our offense. So hopefully they can continue to play as well as they're playing, and we can get Zach back playing a little bit more like he was earlier in the season. But certainly Jeff and Will have separated themselves a little bit for the time being.
It seems like Jeff, you know, really, when he gets